The Air Force Thunderbirds fly into town this weekend for the Dakota Thunder Air Show.
That's right, and I'm excited to fly with them this Thursday. And if you remember, Anya was in Las Vegas last month to get an exclusive footage and interviews with some of the airmen.
And she shares the story of one man from South Dakota and his perseverance in becoming a pilot. Anya, what can you tell us?
You guys, from my travels to Nellis Air Force Base last month in Las Vegas, Nevada, I learned a lot about the Thunderbird mission and got to hang out with a former Black Hills State University classmate, Scott Petts. Now, Scott is from Faith, South Dakota, and I learned more about his journey about becoming a part of this elite group. Take a look.
Wanda and Steve Petts look fondly on the memories of their son Scott as a young boy, who lived for playing sports and loved airplanes. All grown up now, Scott is living the life of a U.S. Air Force Thunderbird, who has always lived life firing on all four cylinders, even as a child.
He liked to have a good time. He would do different things, and it always seemed like a lot of action was going on when he was around. So he was a good kid.
Extremely competitive.
Scott serves as the advanced pilot narrator and is known in his circle as 8 for pilot number 8. He's also in charge of helping to set up the air shows, working with city officials and community organizations to set up for the big day, and also gives media rides before the show. As a young boy, Scott remembers watching the jets at the Ellsworth Air Show that planted the seed for what was to come.
My dad had an aircraft when we were very young. He sold it, but I think that passion has always been a part of my life. And then going to air shows, our family was very good about doing family events. Had a chance to see the Thunderbirds at Ellsworth, and it was amazing, and it was impactful, and it was a lifelong dream of mine to eventually become a Thunderbird.
Going from the Guard to the Reserve and then the Thunderbirds organization, Scott says that one of the most important parts of his job is to bridge the gap between the military and the public.
We have an all-voluntary military. It's important that the Thunderbirds can go out there and represent, recruit, and retain with small-town South Dakota, big city New York, all across the country, to introduce people to the military, to the Air Force, to the Air National Guard, the Air Force Reserves, because of the fact not everybody knows what's out there.
The jet power and the thought of aviation royalty of the job initially attracted Scott to the position, but turns out his time spent making a difference in other people's lives has been more rewarding.
I was drawn to be a Thunderbird to fly the jets. Now that I've flown the jets, I realized the impact that I have by shaking a kid's hand. That has hit me by storm, and it is so neat to put a smile on somebody's face, take them out of a bad situation that they're in just for a little bit, and that has had such a big impact on me, and it made me realize that flying the jets was my initial draw, but being able to interact with the community is a stronger impact than what I thought it would be.
As Scott makes his way to his jet, he is living out a childhood dream, keeping that competitive edge from his youth and making an impact in the lives of others around the nation.
And it was a lot of fun to catch up with Scott and learn more about the squad. Now stay tuned this week because I'll have more exclusive footage and interviews from the Thunderbirds headquarters. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Anya. Looking forward to all of your coverage. And Lewis, 2 days and counting until you are up in the skies with the elite Thunderbirds.
Yeah, just that's going to be Thursday. Already getting ready, making the final preparations, getting the mindset. They say to stay well hydrated. So I got to stay well hydrated because that'll help with the motion sickness that I am sure to get.